My friend, pay attention because today's topic is serious for Rangers. We're diving into transfers and the chaos that's been this transfer window. Here are today's headlines. Rangers eye a loan deal for Sassuolo's attacking midfielder. Rangers given the green light for him on loan as Clement learns the option to buy Fate. Ibrahim Adel caught in Spanish transfer limbo as Rangers rivals struggle to source funds. Rangers given the green signal as Brighton attacker Jeremy Sarmiento transfer update emerges. Permanent transfer likely as Rangers learn the fate of the Stanley Nsoki offer. And finally, fearful ally McCoist hates himself for saying this about Rangers' trip to Celtic as he makes an amazing fans admission. If you're a Rangers fan, hit the like button on the video and comment, "We are the people," to show that we're the biggest champions of this game. Rangers are hot on the trail of Sassuolo's attacking midfielder Nedim Bajrami. A season-long loan deal is on the cards, and it seems like we're getting closer to making it happen after some serious talks on Wednesday, according to the Scottish Sun. Now, why are we so keen on this lad? Well, Bajrami isn't just any player. He's got his name etched into the history books at the European Championship for scoring the fastest goal ever, just 23 seconds into a match against Italy. Imagine that kind of firepower in our squad. He's versatile too, capable of playing as a number 10 or out on the wing, and last season he chipped in with 3 goals and 2 assists for Sassuolo. Not too shabby, eh? Our gaffer, Clement, has already been busy this summer, bringing in a solid bunch of new faces like Jefte, Oscar Cortez, and Robin Proper. But let's be real, if we're going to give Celtic a proper run for their money this season, we need a bit more quality up front. That's where Bajrami could come in, adding that extra spark we've been craving. But here's the kicker. Sassuolo isn't too keen on letting Bajrami go with an option to buy at the end of the loan. They'd rather keep their options open, especially if they get promoted back to Serie A. So it might just be a straight loan deal, no strings attached. With Todd Cantwell on his way out and Ioannis Hadji's future up in the air, there's a bit of urgency to get someone like Bajrami in before the transfer window slams shut. Clement knows it, and he's pushing hard to make it happen. He's been pretty candid about the club's situation. He expected a bit more flexibility when he took the job, but now he's rolling up his sleeves and dealing with the reality. Time's ticking, and while this summer's rebuild has been a bit of a juggling act, bringing in someone like Bajrami could be the final piece of the puzzle. Whether he's here for the long haul or just a season, we need players who can make an immediate impact and help us take back that Premiership title. Just when you think Rangers might finally get their hands on an exciting new winger, the football gods decide to have a laugh. Our latest heartbreaker? Ibrahim Adel, the Egyptian wonder kid everyone's been whispering about. Now this lad turned heads at the Paris Olympics, giving off serious next Mo Salah vibes. Naturally, Rangers fans got a bit giddy at the thought of him tearing it up at Rangers. But before we could pop the champagne, word came in that he was jetting off to Spain, with Getafe supposedly ready to snap him up. But wait, because nothing in football is ever simple, Getafe have somehow managed to tie themselves in knots over a paltry 380,000 quid. Yes, you heard right. The Spanish club that was ready to welcome Adel with open arms has now hit the brakes because they need to offload someone first. So while the lad's sitting pretty in Madrid, he's stuck in transfer purgatory, waiting for a deal that might never happen. Meanwhile, Rangers are left in a bit of a scramble, still hunting for that elusive left winger to fill the void. We're in for 4 new faces before the window shuts, so they say. But with only a few days to go, it's starting to feel like a bit of a stretch. So keep your fingers crossed, lads. We might need a miracle or at least a few more sleepless nights for our transfer team to get this all over the line before Friday. It looks like Rangers might just be on the verge of snagging a pretty exciting talent from Brighton, none other than Jeremy Sarmiento. Now, before you start picturing him in the blue and white, running rings around defenders, there's a little catch. Our lad Sarmiento has had a bit of an up and down time with his minutes on the pitch last season. But hold on, don't hit the panic button just yet. According to Dr. Rajpal Brar, the injury expert who knows his stuff, this isn't exactly a red flag that should make Rangers back off. Sure, his game time was a bit all over the place, but that doesn't mean he's made of glass. The doc says that as long as Rangers are smart about it, easing him into training, building up those minutes gradually, Sarmiento could be a real asset. The Rangers are reportedly eyeing a last-minute swoop to bring the Ecuador international to Rangers, and let's be honest, this could be a savvy move. The guy's got Premier League and Championship experience under his belt, which means he shouldn't need too much time to get used to the rough and tumble of the Scottish Premiership. Signing Sarmiento could be like hitting the jackpot. He's young, he's got international caps, and if the deal's right, he could be sticking around for the long haul. Whether it's a loan or a permanent move, it sounds like he'd add some serious depth to our attacking options, so fingers crossed, eh? If this deal goes through, we might just have a new fan favorite on our hands at Rangers. It looks like Hoffenheim's Stanley Nsoki won't be gracing the Rangers' pitch anytime soon. According to the Daily Record, the 25-year-old defender is packing his bags for Lille instead of Glasgow. Yep, that's right. After all the talks and anticipation, it seems Philippe Clement's plans have hit a bit of a snag. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't the first time we've missed out on a target this summer, but let's not dwell on it for too long. The reality is, there's still work to be done and time is ticking fast. With the transfer deadline looming on Friday night, the pressure is on to get the squad in shape. It hasn't exactly been smooth sailing, has it? The Rangers have been trying to juggle shifting out the likes of Scott Wright and Todd Cantwell while bringing in fresh talent. Ben Davies heading out on loan opened up a spot, but with Nsoki seemingly opting for a return to France, that's one fewer option on the table. And it's not just in defense where we're feeling the pinch. The departures or expected departures of Wright, Cantwell, and Davies mean we're short in a few key areas. Clement's frustration has been palpable, and who can blame him? The club has been forced to sell before buying, and it's made what should have been a summer of rebuilding into something of a scramble. But as Clement himself has said, identifying the right players is only half the battle. Getting them to sign on the dotted line is another challenge entirely. And with just hours left until the window slams shut, the pressure is on for Niels Koppen and the recruitment team to pull something out of the hat. So while it's disappointing to miss out on Nsoki, it's not time to hit the panic button just yet. The Rangers have got their eyes on other targets, and the next few days will be crucial. Let's hope that when the dust settles, Clement has the reinforcements he needs to make this season one to remember. After all, the road to glory is rarely a straight path, but with the right moves, we could still be on course for something special. You know, sometimes it's tough being a die-hard Ranger, especially when you've got a legend like McCoist sounding the alarm bells ahead of an Old Firm derby. Now, don't get me wrong, we all know Ali bleeds blue, but even he's admitting he's got some serious concerns about our trip to Celtic Park this weekend. And honestly, I can't say I blame him. McCoist is usually the first to back the boys, but he's out here saying that we're heading into this clash as one of the biggest underdogs he can remember. That's saying something coming from a man who's seen it all in these fixtures. It's like the ground's shifted beneath our feet and suddenly we're all just hoping to come out of this with a draw. A draw! Can you imagine? When was the last time you'd hear a true Ranger say that? But let's get into the nitty-gritty of what Ali's talking about. Celtic's looking sharp, annoyingly sharp if we're honest. Brendan Rodgers has them ticking like a well-oiled machine, with McGregor pulling the strings in midfield and that lot bringing in the likes of Kasper Schmeichel between the sticks. It's enough to make any Ranger uneasy. And our gaffer, Philippe Clement, he's been left holding the bag with a squad that's not exactly set the heather on fire. Ali's got a point when he says our recruitment's been, well, questionable. Sure, Butland's been solid, and Sterling's shown some promise, but beyond that, we've been scraping the barrel. Clement's been upfront about it too. He needs to move a few pieces around before he can really make this team his own. Todd Cantwell might be on his way out, Giannis Hagi too, and now it looks like Scott Wright's off to Birmingham. But here's the thing, mate, this is Rangers we're talking about. We've faced down bigger challenges before and come out on top. Sure, Ali's worried, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't biting my nails a bit too. But the beauty of football, especially an Old Firm derby, is that anything can happen. We might be the underdogs, but sometimes it's the underdog who lands the knockout punch. So, let's not get too down just yet. Sunday's game might be the one where we remind Celtic why we're Rangers, and if not, well, as Ali says, it's going to be one hell of a fight.